I took a fucking I took a left turn, and then upwards we went to space
Uh-huh.
to play some of that M-Bon. Are you familiar with M-Bon? M-Bon
Okay,
is
I'm
the
gonna need a
acronym.
spelling.
Here, let me spell the whole thing out for you. Mobile
Okay.
Suit Gundam Extreme Versus Maxi Boost On, aka MBON.
That is terrible.
Do you remember that
That
Gundam
is
game we played a couple years ago that required
yeah.
like friends to come
The
over?
most obnoxious setup we ever went through ever.
Absurd, right? So the new version of that game came out, and they actually allowed you to play LAN without that obnoxious setup now.
Okay.
Also it has split screen in it.
Okay. So it's like a regular video game?
It's like a regular video game now. It has split screen, and you can do a LAN hookup.
You know, I know this really only applies to people like us who work with just tons of games.
Yep.
But you know, did you ever see the Babadook?
I know Babadook.
You've seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I know what it is.
Okay. There's a part where the mother, the kid is just throwing a tantrum. And the mother just turns to him, just frustrated as shit, and just screams, Why can't
are
you be normal?
Why can't you be normal? And then he goes, Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, the amount of games that I run into that I am constantly saying that to is so
Yes.
fucking stupid.
Right. Maxi Boost On, in particular, it's coming from Japanese arcades where that's their priority, and then the console release is a later afterthought, and also North America is a later afterthought. They're happy to keep making money as the Japanese arcades are packed, right? This Gundam game is all over Japan. It is taking up entire floors as people play it. It's 2v2, and it's very popular.
I think the worst I like, and it's almost kind of a similar thing. Like, you know, there's a bunch of like exclusive like new costumes and lore stuff in that Dissidia game that is for every Final Fantasy. That like there are costumes that show up in that game first and then show up in their own games later. And it's like, why can't this fucking arcade game be a normal fucking game? I'm glad that the Gundam people got a fucking regular game.
Took a while, but it happened. And
like, I might play this just because I can.
Every version eventually came out and dropped, and they kept building on it, right? So Gundam Extreme Versus, like as a series, has had multiple iterations. This is, I think, like the 5th one. Though 7 if you count like arcade updates or whatever, and they just announced part 2. So
I'm just gonna imagine that this is only on the PS4.
Yeah, sure. The logo looks like a fucking like meme of Photoshop jokes slapped together. You know when you grab like a bunch of words and you like go like expand dong.
Oh my god, that is terrible.
Yeah, you see that, right?
That is so bad.
Look at that fucking logo, dude.
What is the acronym? MSGEVMO.
MSG EXVS M
MSG
EXVS. EXVS
well, no,
is,
you would. Oh yeah, no, it is EXVS because
EXVS is what the series is called. X Versus.
MO. So it's Misjagmo.
Mbon.
Where's the B?
Boost.
Boost on?
Maxi Boost On.
So wait, the M in M-Bon is Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme Versus?
No, Maxi. Maxi Boost On. Exxon Mobil.
So bad. That's so bad. Let me go find the fucking title of Super Turbo in Japan again.
Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Dash for matching service.
No, that's not it. It's way worse than that. It's way, way, way worse than that. Uh okay. It was okay. I'm thinking of a different version. It's Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the Ultimate Championship.
Sure, sure. Hey, that new one I just mentioned that's announced is
Yeah.
Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus 2 Cross Boost. Guess how you spell Cross Boost?
With an X.
Damn straight. Don't you ever forget it.
I can't think of a single letter that causes as much confusion written in English by foreigners. Like every single time it comes up from a Japanese game, you go X boost, and they go no cross.
I'm personally hoping that we get that the new game is going to be acronymed into X versus Expo.
I hate it.
XBO. And it's like, oh, so it's on Xbox? No, it's an arcade game.
Oh man, have you seen this that fucking tweet? I don't know if it's news about the Xbox floating around.
There's a couple of things, but just the idea of the game coming out being Xbo and it has nothing to do with Xbox is as hilarious as Doom 64 coming out on a bunch of consoles that are not a Nintendo 64.
Here it is. I found it. Wooly, I want you to tell me what this means. The Xbox Series S will not run Xbox One X enhanced versions of backwards compatible games, but will instead run Xbox One S versions of Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles.
I understood immediately, but that's stupid, dumb bullshit.
Also, Microsoft came out and said we want people to go to the store and just ask for you know what the official like acronym name of the new Xbox is?
It's Series X.
No.
Series S.
No. It's Xbox. Remember last time they were like call it the One,
Xbox One X.
but they wanted you to just call it the One.
The One, yeah.
Now it's the Xbox because they want you to go to the store and say, I want the newest Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll ask you, do you want the X or the S? The two letters in English that sound the most similar.
Possibly 3 if the rumor is real. There's a rumor that there's a third one that is a mid-spec.
I know that
without a disk drive.
Wooly, I feel like we bring this up every 3 months about like the worst titles in
Every time.
in box history, and I was of the opinion that the new Nintendo 3DS is the all-time champ because it's so confusing. I think Microsoft is going for it. So they have like 6 boxes on the fucking market that are all just called Xbox and then a slight change.
We laughed at the Wii because they did so much consumer testing that they wanted to create a sound that no one in any language would have a problem saying. And
only to discover that it means penis or piss in like any English adjacent language.
But now on the other end of the spectrum, you have what letter are you saying? I can't understand you on the phone.
Okay. So the current, let me think. The current lineup of Xboxes is the Xbox, right?
Xbox.
The Xbox 360.
Yes.
The Xbox 360S
Yes.
for the Slim.
Yes.
The Xbox One.
Correct.
The Xbox One X.
Yes.
Then the Xbox Series S. Then the Xbox Series X. Oh, I forgot about I forgot about Xbox SAD and the 360 Elite.
But Xbone SAD and Elites were in there too. Yes, this is correct.
Wooly, I replied to somebody's tweet about this, and I got confused. I thought they were talking about the X, and they were talking about the S, and I'm like, how come it doesn't have a disc? It was like Xbox One Series S will not have a disc drive, and I typed out, how does it not have a disc drive if it's a big fridge? And people kept hitting me with, no, that's the other one. If people like us get it wrong, what fucking chance does grandma or your dad?
It is really like they've tripled down on everything that they promised to be when it was going to be the total extreme action console, infinite extreme action. Like it just has no marketing power whatsoever, and yeah, it's the worst it's ever been. It's the worst series of console names ever.
We got an explanation in chat that'll help. New Xbox Series S isn't compatible with the Xbox Series X, but is compatible with Xbox One X titles, but not Xbox titles. But it's also compatible with Xbox 360 and 360 titles.
Back when this was originally called the Direct Xbox, and then they just shortened it, I was like, okay, whatever. I don't like the name, but it is what it is. But all of this can be traced back to one single moment of Paul marketing in his peak,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
in his prime, when he was feeling himself, came into work that morning, had his coffee, Veronica winked at him, and then he went full confidence into that meeting and said, we're not going to compete with the PlayStation that has a bigger number than us. We got to come in swinging and
we
go.
We can't have the Xbox 2 and they have the PS3.
That's no good. That sounds bad and weak, and we are strong and big. So we need a bigger number, and the biggest number that's bigger than 3 is a 360.
Done. And that would have been fine if that guy stayed and the next one was the 720 and the one after was the 1080. But they fired that guy. And so here came in Pete Marketing saying, God damn it, those PlayStation numbers are bigger. We're not going to play the numbers game at all. We're going to play the meaning game because it's going to be input 1. It'll be the most important one. That's right. The 1. And some people probably said to them, so the naming convention is 031 then? And he went, shut up. Shut the fuck up. And now that guy got fired. And now it's numbers are stupid and lame. We don't need that shit.
See, I think whatever stupid path you pick, the answer is consistency. And with this, Nintendo is off in fucking Dreamland doing their thing, and it is what it is.
They all have different names.
But they run into problems like the new Nintendo 3DS and the Wii
The new
U.
Nintendo 3DS XL.
and the Wii U draw tablet. Whatever,
like
fucking
we already
that's
played
Ubisoft's
this game
fault,
with the Wii U.
Yes,
we
exactly.
literally already played this, and it was, hey, guess what? The brand confusion over the Wii U was so bad, people still don't know.
They thought it was a upgrade tablet for their Wii.
There are literally going to be 2 devices each of Xbox you can buy in store that have the S or X acronym. And as an English speaker, I can't emphasize strongly enough how similar those 2 consonants sound.
But they don't matter because the only thing that does matter is the price tag. They will both be on the shelf, and one will be $299, and that will be the end of the discussion.
I am telling you right now, Woolie, I'm going to create a situation that will happen a not insignificant amount of times. Mom, Dad, can I please get an Xbox S for Christmas? I know it's a little expensive, but my grades are good. I'm not getting the expensive one. Okay, Billy, we'll go get you the Xbox S. And they go to the store and they either ask for the Xbox One S or they accidentally say S, kind of like X, and the cashier shows them the $500 one, and they go, "Fuck that, Billy." And
Yeah.
Billy gets a console he may already have, or nothing.
I mean, the magic of the hardware here being if they pull they're gonna pull all Xbox One S's off of the shelves, so that but it's stupid. It's just dumb. I'm kind of flabbergasted that Sony manages to win this by just not tripping over their own dick and falling.
By having the most boring name in the history of anything.
Which didn't start that way. Again, I still say that the PlayStation is not a great name for a console.
Oh, it's terrible.
But by now, they just said that plus the number go up. Done. It's just...
And then if they're going to release a fancy version, it'll be called the Pro, I guess.
Done. It doesn't confuse anybody. It's the number and it's there. I mean, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, okay, Nintendo 64, all right. I think the fact that people still call things the Nintendo is a clue that they probably should have stuck by that.
Woolie, here's how strong brand naming shit is and how it can lead to tons of problems. Despite the fact that I've been drinking Monster exclusively since the day Death Stranding came out, if Paige is heading out to the store, she will ask me if I want some purple Red Bulls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay? This shit happens all the time. My mother still calls shit the Nintendo. Still.
Yeah, I think honestly, it would have helped to just follow that line through, and maybe even stick with Game Boy for the console names on the handheld division, But whatever the case is,
good one.
It's fine. It just got stupid. The Switches were fine. It just got dumb in some cases. Nintendo overall, you know what you're talking about when you say the product name. At the very least.
Are we technically into news now? Did we just jump over without realizing?
No. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say that
I almost hurt myself with my fidget spinner.
I didn't even get to talk about the fact that Maxi Boost On is a good game. It's a good game. It's fun. It's a really
I assume it's good.
It's a very good Gundam game. It has all the suits I wanted in it, almost. It didn't have one or two, but it had just about everything that was, I found.
Who was missing? That you were fuck.
But I like an obscure suit. So the F-71 G cannon was not present, but why would it be, right? It's a super disposable, non-big deal. So, that wouldn't be there, and that's fine. I'll take that. There was absolutely, Stargazer was there, Thunderbolt was there, the Kshatriya. You go to the list and you can set off your favorites. So I just went, that's the first thing I did was, all right, what do I want? Quick search, grab, right? Grab me that tall geese, grab me heavy arms, grab me
How many of these robots are in this game?
Yo, it's got Crossbone, it's got the Pirate, Full Armor Double Zeta's there, I'm like, yeah, okay, I got a list of shit I wanna fuck around with. That's good. So that's nice. Immediately go to the music BGM section and turn that shit off. Because every single time you play a suit, it's going to queue up the music from the show. And again, as magic as that must feel, we live in a world that is not allowed to have fun. So I couldn't.
Can't have fun.
Can't have fun. Had to turn all the music off.
Fun.
When you pick Char,
stop.
You just have to feel it in your heart. That you have to feel it. You have to feel Char's music in your heart. But
I made the dumbass fucking mistake of enabling the goddamn music pack for DBZ when I streamed it on PS4 all those times ago.
Yeah, don't fucking do it, man. Come on. Yeah, so I ended up falling in love with Easy 8. 8th MS is in there, and I ended up being like really all about that. The Easy 8 is the suit that I ended up really enjoying. Faz is great too. It's got an SPD, so that's great. But all the suits are there, and what I ended up doing was just playing a YouTube playlist of chiptunes versions of Gundam music.
Well, there you go.
So
that's legally distinct now, isn't it?
Yeah, we did it. And I understand the fun and design of like why people love this game so much. It's really fast. It takes a lot of the nostalgia you have for arcade Virtua On.
Mm-hmm.
And
puts countdown to the words Virtua On when you talk about mech stuff.
Yeah, right. It takes a lot of that memory of Virtua On and the speed of side dash boosting, left, right, up, down, around the corner, peek from behind the building, shoot your laser, all that really cool shit that you feel while you're boosting around and flying. Except it's with all the Gundams from the shows you love, right? So, yay. And the music is playing, and the voice actors are doing their thing. So you're just getting all of that like tie-in nostalgia with a really fun combat system. And I have to give a kudos to the fucking game because they take a bunch of suits that have a gun, a laser sword, a beam saber, and a beam rifle, and they give them different moves.
Okay.
You would think that a bunch of things with a V-fin and the same 3 weapons or 4 weapons would kind of be really similar, but like they had a pretty diverse move set that was for the most part like unique and very canon to the things that that they do in the shows. So I'm like, that's awesome. I like that they came up with.
Does one of them have a move where they turn on their saber while some cheerleader attacks them with a rocket?
Victory Gundam is in the game. The Bikini Babe Squad is not a move, but that Victory is there. Yeah. So, but like they have little things like you hit the one of the buttons with heavy arms, and he starts doing dumb fucking flips. He does dumb all the Troa flips because he's a big old.
I bet heavy arms
circus
can do
man.
flips.
He's a circus man, Stargazer lights up with the satellite orbiting dome things, and yeah. So in the end, horrible title aside and musical issues aside, it's a whole lot of fun, and
that's why we're talking about horrible titles.
And playing it,
forgot how we got there.
It's a 2v2, but playing it 1v1 was a lot of fun. The way the system works is interesting, though. I don't know if you remember this, but both teams have a total cost pool, and every time you sortie with a really good suit, it costs more than a really cheap shit.
Okay, there you go. That's how you do it.
So I can rush your shit down with Epion, right? And Zex Marquise, and just that's gonna cost 3,000, or I can rock my Easy 8 for a 1,500, so I get to die more times because I'm a dumb little fucking suit. But yeah, you have to deplete the total cost value, So it's ratio system basically.
That's great.
Yeah, it works. It makes sense of how super strong suits can still exist with weak ones and be that strong, but also, it's fair. So not free ratio system. That would mean I could change my costs. It's fixed.
I want to have 35 shitty Gundam wings. No, you can't.
Can't play as Big Zam, unfortunately, but Big Zam is in the game.
Oh, darn. Dude, I hate Big Zam so much.
Big Zam rules. I'll have none of this. Big Zam fucking rules.
I legitimately can't understand why people are like, fuck yeah, Big Zam. Is it because its name is Big Zam?
Yes! End. End of discussion.
His name is Big Zam. Robot ever.
He's a big boy. He's got big legs. You shut up about Big Zam.
It's so stupid. I hate it.
How big is he? How big is he?
It gets iced out in like 2 seconds. It's terrible.
How big is he, idiot?
He's very big.
Yeah. Big Zam rules.
It's extremely large.
Especially
Zam.
when you can rock it with an act guy. But, yeah.
I'll send you pictures of that mold again. I swear to God. Keep talking about Big Zam.
I really wished you could do a jet stream attack, but unfortunately you cannot. Rambaral rules. Anyway, good game. Good Gundam. Yay. And split screen's fun. And, yeah, check it out.